Oh dear. Well, anyway, are we paying attention to the naming convention? I must remember something here, but are we paying attention to it? I'm sorry about the sound quality in the last part. I noticed it was fucked. I don't know why, because I used the same mic and everything. I went, well, whatever. But I didn't want to re-record that one just because of the raw anger in it. I thought it might be entertaining to someone. So this map, I'm breaking my rule a little bit, and I'm going to break my rules a little bit for the next one as well. In that this map technically got finished and released, but not in this state. This is, despite the file name, they're just revision numbers. Iteration-wise, that's weird there. It's like a heat haze there on the raw stack. But yeah, iteration-wise, this is iteration 2. There was an earlier version of this, and it, well, it existed, and there was a lot of underground tunnels and shit in it, and it sucked. And this one, I never got finished as is. I abandoned it not long after this, but, you know, data missing and shit. I don't know, that's weird how it has that little bit sticking out. I mean, I must have known about it when I built it, but I don't know why it's like that. It's a bit strange. Before this got ditched and went over to its third iteration. So, yeah. The ambient sound use, so there's your proof this was meant to be played. Obviously this is a bit newer than like the ship and the lab. That gets blown out. There's multiple ways we could go, like there's multiple paths here. We're going to go with this one. Again, it's a bit newer than the thing. But yeah, we're going to go this way. There's a weird thing here from what I remember. Couldn't tell you why that exists. But things are still... that either. I guess the height change, because that would line up with where that slope is up there. But if we do it again, that'll go back down. I don't know what I was thinking. Like I said, this iteration never got finished. Weird lighting. Hey, check this out. Oh, it's really evil and stuff. Like, he laughed at us. And for good measure, like, he's coming down. Like, look. There he is. You don't want to mess with him. Yeah, fuck you. I'm gonna jump over that. Can't, because he put that bar there. That'll stop you. You won't get in there. I mean, if you hit that speed, I don't think it'd cut you in half, but it certainly hurt a bit. And we got the dead, which are made out of metal. You can see it all come down that slope. It's like been under the house all along. You can see, again, sort of the difference, where the scaling in things like Kill City was pretty consistently too big, and then you had the scaling at the start of this level and doors where everything's a little bit small. So I was trying to adjust when this one was done. And it was just sort of all over on the ship, wasn't it? I remember putting this in and thinking, oh, that is like so evil, that, you know, it's like wood and these rocks and stuff, and it's in there and you can't get in there. And it's like really fucking evil and shit. Technically there is a door here, I believe, but the height is like not set up, so you can't use it. And these lights, I was remember them like battery operated push ones. By the way, I hope you like mazes with only one path and no air pockets underwater and no diving gear, because that's what we got here. Let's see if we can do it. Let's see if it's actually doable. Because I would have probably just tested the level in God mode, I'll be honest with you. Yeah, it's been a bit sick, isn't it, here? And then, I think that we turn around, yeah, and we go in a straight line. And we should get out. There should be a line on the floor. You don't want to get lost in there, because like, you can totally get lost. It has these like sideways bits. Like there. You don't want to go in those. Totally get lost. Never find your way out. And this is another alternate path bit. And it sucks. And you're going to see how bad this thing sucks. I better do that, because it'll kill us if we go down here. You can land fine on it, because it's water. But it'll just kill you when it comes up. Hold on. There you go. Also, what are them life seeds? They should surely float, shouldn't they? But yeah, sort of got a bit over ambitious with the size of the water, and as you can see, not very finished. And I don't think much work was done to it after this. I know that the area for the ending got sort of done, and there was some little jetties and shit, but I think even by the time this version came around, I sort of knew this was like no good, and that I was going to abandon it. And this is a map that I think is like a stepping stone. Like, anyone who's built maps has levels like this. You can see here, like, the detail's creeping in, but there's so much missing. Nothing bad happens from going in here. You'd think it would because of the way the room's built, but nope. But again, you can see that we're going for atmosphere. We've tried, and it's a little bit more mature. It's a bit more grown up than that bit at the start of it. It's boring. It sucks. But the way it connects even is, like, really awkward, isn't it? And that was the way we came, was the older path to get out here. Where we've gone now is the newer one. And so we'll go and look at that. But yeah, you know, it's anyone who's built maps will have that, I think, where there's a level that they built and didn't finish, and it was never going to be finished. So this, we're going backwards through it, would have been the newer path. And you can sort of see how we've got a little bit of underscaling going on still, but it's sort of getting there, isn't it? We can see there's these weird little things like this going on, and weirdly inaccessible. So there we go, back at the start. Weirdly inaccessible outdoorsy areas. I liked them when back then. You know, you can't get in here, but there's been effort. You know, and this is, I think, what this map was. It was a learning map. It's a phase between two different phases. It must have meant the player to come in here at some point. It's weird how the sector's all sloped and everything. We've even got a little garden shed. And this is what I mean about it being a learning map, where it sort of foreshadows a little bit, as we'll see. There's a little bit of foreshadowing here almost. And I'm sure there's some geometry hidden in one of these, but it's not very interesting. I can imagine what this place would smell like, to be honest. Yeah, weird geometry up there, but again, you can sort of see that these, you know, bits of it are not of the same era. And it's something you have to go through. It's something you have to, like, yeah. Because you can see where it just immediately meshes onto this older sort of iteration until you get to that corner over there. And then again here we have grass that's on wood. I think grass would grow on wood. This is probably plastro-turf. And this is what you needed the key for, because this would raise the water, like if we hadn't done it from in there. Also, it's another door you might have noticed. Oh, is this one shot? It is. But the floor comes up. I'm still doing that now. You can see it here. It's still a thing that I'm still doing. For some reason. I've got a feeling, actually, that it was so I could get in there. Yeah, like it. If the sector was like sandwiched like that. Now, I can't get over there. I'm sure that there was a door that went out the other side of this in like a later version. And it relied on some other thing being done before it would open. I really don't know. So instead, what I've got to do here is a bit of an awkward jump, which with Blood's peculiar momentum, and it just ignored my inputs to a degree there. Whatever, we got no clip. So a pretty shitty map overall, and they all have been, but yeah. The third iteration, I'd learnt my lesson. Unfortunately, I don't have it. If anyone has it, please do send me it, because I don't seem to have any of the other two versions, and it sucks, because I really wish I had the fast one, because as ugly as it was, there was little bits of geometry in it, and lever switches and stuff that were built with sectors that were very, very, very reminiscent of things I did in Duke. But you can see I didn't use them, I don't think. We can see examples of them in the mall. This wall's here just to stop you. It's very shit, this. And again, you can see that was meant to be temporary. There's weird-ass geometry going on here. I don't know what it's about. There was underground tunnels and shit here. Like, They got dropped in the third iteration, which was finished and released. This did stuff with the gates and fucking God knows what that's not implemented. And this is an occupational hazard, because if you step back from the controls, boof, you're going to fall down there and die, probably. Box. And there's really nothing else in it. That's pretty much it for this map. But yeah, I don't think I pressed that thing anymore. We'll run back and show you, and plus the fact, I forgot to go to the end of Kill City. I have no idea what's wrong with this, so don't ask me. Like, there's definitely something wrong here. Oh, there it goes. It's weird how it has a random delay on this, and I never solved that. Like, I never ever solved it. Like, the way it's set up, if you're familiar with the X system, is that you... Basically, you don't set the X object to... Whoa. Okay, it teleported back with broken panning. But you don't set the object, the X object, to react to pushing, and you would just like use the wall as the trigger, and that would send a channel that would trigger the X object. So, yeah, I never figured it out. It's just Blood's movement been weird, and you might remember we had issues with that in lab. In any case, we'll go and have a look. I'll show you what I mean, because I was quite fond of them in all like maps that I'm missing now. I'm trying to keep track of time, but I can't promise it. Like, I've got to do it in my head, and I'm sort of aiming 25 to 35 minutes. This machine you might have figured out a rebuild just because of the fact that we can shoot switches on it. Oh yeah. Yeah, the old one with the Billy Boy window had a different machine, like, but... Yeah. I was always quite fond of these, so it's weird how that sort of came full circle. Okay, Kill City it is. Really nothing much to see, but I didn't go to the end, and I said I would. But there's really nothing there. So we're just going to no-clip our way in. Amazes me I can remember the geometry. He's probably coming to kill us, I can't get out. Yeah, we'll see some shitty level design. No sound on this, you can tell it was only just in. And what do we get for our troubles? Whoa. Blown up in the face. And the level would end here. And I don't know if the shape was deliberate, but that's what shape it is. So as we first that way, yeah, so a little bit evil. I don't think there's any hidden geometry in here or anything. I know some levels have some, but yeah, I don't think there's really anything missing in here. That cheat never fucking worked in this game. It's broken blood, let's just be honest. Fucking so much lost to data corruption as the game's its own worst enemy when it comes to user content, I guess. Let's kill Caleb. Oh yeah, I probably never showed you that there's a slot up here. It's for the door to travel in. It's a bit awkward, but it's definitely up there. You sort of see it. And that's why the second window isn't implemented. Right, so what should we do next? So what order to do these in? So I think we're going to see a couple... Yeah, we'll do it that way, right? So what I'll do... Oh, fuck, I can't remember the file name in full. Because I guess doing it this way will draw you more attention to our naming conventions, because I do think they're pretty interesting to look at. So, yeah, what we'll go for is House in Dark, like Nah, Wunna, and stuff like that. Don't have too much, but you can sort of see we're still on the fairly old naming convention here, but we're moving up. Well, we're putting the 0, we're anticipating But these things are earlier sort of iterations of the same map, and it wasn't built in the dark, but the House in Dark version is the most up-to-date geometry I still have the data for. I'm missing so many map files. And now we're moving out of user levels, playable levels. I wasn't doing playable levels much anymore. There's a path marker up there, and the reason is if we stand in a magic spot, the car will go. Go! And we've blown our chance to get into some secret tunnels. So these were, we've discussed before how some maps existed solely for the purpose of animation backdrops. And this is a map that was built for animation backdrops and not to be played. And you always have that one house in every street that's a bit different and grottier looking than the rest. But we'll get there. We'll get there. So, yeah, I don't know why this one has blocking on it, like in the front and the back. I have no idea why that's been set. Like, there has to be some reason for that, but what that was, I can't honestly remember, because none of the other ones have it. But it's not like that would just get there, like, by random chance. But this was worked on over a fair bit of time. So you can sort of see, like, really the bit that we use it is the oldest geometry, and you can even see there's a little bit of that underscaling left from the Marina in there. But we're starting to see, like, the detailing's getting a little bit better. We've got a little bit of sprite work and stuff coming in here. I was still making playable maps in this time, but I'm not going to show you any. Oh, so that's what's blue. I vaguely remember colouring things like that in here for some reason. I don't know what that was. Now on the K5 we had some weird things, like in my original recordings. I don't really want to do editing, so probably won't bother showing you, but you can tell it was for backdrops because there's no sounds on anything. We didn't tend to put sounds on things that, they were just backdrop levels. You would have never seen any of this, and Ari's level will look bad because you just wouldn't have seen level from that point. But we'd have had, a shot like this, and if I needed it to move, I'd have had like maybe an X object sector that would have moved me around, or a sprite platform if I needed to be really high up. Here's a prime example of a thing. The basements here will be coming back here. It's very under-detailed because you would only have seen the guy from a little bit. You'd have seen the character walking down there or walking up there. There was a trigger for this door. I don't remember where it was, but I should be able to just make it go because it's got a shed. And this isn't the foreshadowing you think it is, or the result of. It's high, that wall, but yeah, this house over here is all blocked off from the back as well, which is quite strange. We can sort of bug our way along, but if we go in there we'll get stuck. There's no reason to go in there. You would have never seen in there, you'd have seen just enough of it to know there was a fire going. Like, you'd have maybe caught sort of the edge of it out of this guy's back door or something. But this game hates me. God, he screams like such a bitch, doesn't he? It really does have, failed school shooter vibes, Blood, I'm telling you. Not so much the fast one, but Blood too. He does feel like he just wants to be a school shooter. He's trying to be hardcore. You can tell the back was built after the front, can't you? We don't have doors or anything though. I guess you'd just never looked in that direction, I guess. I mean, you'd have been over here at some point, but I don't think you're ever going to see this close up. No, I think I had a shot looking up this way. From in there. Or something? I don't remember, and this just goes to a black wall because it's where you transition to having backdrops from another map I no longer have. Ugh, get me through that. It still lags on this thing. So now we're going to go upstairs. There's not really much left to see. This room I don't think was ever used. I think you sort of saw it open and saw a secondary character walk in and out of it a couple of times. And I think the main character threw things in there a couple of times. unfortunately, like I say, I don't really like sharing maps I like released for this thing, so I should be able to get up there. This might crash the game. No, there we go. And it looks like there's nothing up here, but there actually is something up here. But we'll find that later. I mean, you can see this room was sort of the same, where we only saw this side of it. You can tell we've gone through a roll there, but it's, you know, you got to notice things like this round lighting and stuff. We're sort of progressing a little bit. We have this bedroom, which is very empty. It's much bigger than the downstairs. And again, you would have never seen the full room, you know. You'd have had angles like this. You know, you wouldn't have seen the full room, so it didn't matter. You know, you'd have had, I remember there'd been one about here of like the guy sitting on the bed. That fire was working in that. And there's even like little bits of effort put in on things like the windows there, where they're glowing. I think there's another one on this side, yeah. It's weird, like, you know, I would have probably never seen this like close up like that. So there's not really any. It's, you're sort of able to look behind the curtain in levels that were built like this, and we have the bathroom. And I'm sure I had a working light switch in here at some point, a trigger for it at least. Nice big bath, nice wash basin, and a very nice toilet with. It's got these lights and stuff. I mean, I would shit on that quite happily. I would shit in there. I'd feel good about shitting in there. It's a shame I don't have more up-to-date geometry in the daytime version, but there is something quite interesting about this, which is this basement. Was it technically in a release map? There's a gap over here, and I don't remember what it existed for. Was this technically in a map that was released? No, but triggers I think will be removed. But they have this area here, and at some point one of the walls was changed to lava. There was a little bit of retexturing, and this map was at some point repurposed for multiplayer as a one-off at just one event. And so, if anyone has these areas here, like in a level, then yeah, me and you have probably been in the same building at some point. We have probably met in real life and just not known it, or maybe you did. So yeah, you know, someone maybe kept a copy, because they would have had to have a copy for us to play, like, you know, Bloodbath on it. So. I should see if the player spawn points are still in and everything.
You don't know it. Putting on the Ritz.
No, I don't like Ritz crackers. I prefer Tuck, thank you very much. But, yeah, this has been in a multiplayer map. So there you go. But like I say, it was done on site for a specific event. Just once. What the... Okay. Oh, that's where the car goes to. The car's in here. It won't draw, but might be able to make it draw if I could get the right angle. No, but it's technically in there. It'll just spaz until the end of time to stop it coming back. So you're probably wondering what the fuck we've walked ourselves into here. And it's not really that special, and you can sort of see bits of it there. I don't know why the attic one has managed to draw itself in, but it has. What the fuck? I don't even want to know. Why is it doored off? I think that's just a one-way wall so you can't see or something. But yeah, this lets you get into each area, and it's sort of swastika shaped, but not by design. And they're actually, you get access like this in a lot of these things, but these are so long that this is certainly for multiplayer. So it's kind of a playable map. Yeah, I don't know. I think it was the working copy, so I think the changes got put in and then reverted later. It was a little bit weird like that. There's not really anything else to see in this one. That's pretty much it for this map, so I guess we'll move on. That texture's going crazy on the attic up there. What the bugger is that all about? Who cares? In any case, yeah, I'll break the recording here, so I don't know what video number we're on at any given point now, so I'm sorry for none of the highs and buys, but it's not viable. We just can't really do that right now. So, yeah, I'll see you whatever the next level is. I know already.